Rashida'S over $38 million Boahene contract questioned. Rashida Sani, she used to be on radio and TV. She is a journalist. She went to GIJ, Ghana Institute of Journalism, and studied journalism. She had ambitions. Her mother was her father's first wife, Hajia Memuna. Her father was a big malam, Alhaji Sani. Everybody knew him in Tamale. A very pious Muslim. Her family is a uniquely beautiful family. Very beautiful people, handsome gentlemen. Oh, my brother, my sister. I went to school at Zogbeli JSS, 50 meters away from Rashida'S house. So I always walked in front of the house. Sometimes I saw the father come out and perform ablution. After ablution, he would raise one finger up. I remember that as a child. And I'll hear him mutter some words to himself. Later, I got to know that he was saying, Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu Allah, like that. Pious Muslim. Alhaji Sani. He was so respected. From a polygamous home, children from different mothers, competition set in. Which woman's children are doing better than the others? Rashida always told herself and told friends, I will be the person to raise my mother's background high. It's not a bad dream, but do it well. She started journalism, went into it, born in 1980. And you know how old she is now. 46. She's not a little girl. She's grown. Am I right? Is it 46 or 45? 1980, 20 years more will make it 2000, then 25. That is up 45 years. Beautiful. She got married. The marriage broke apart. And we told you why. Because there was a certain alleged criminal, as told to us by investigators, Boahene, who started going in and out around her and ended up convincing her to come out of her matrimonial home, whilst he also was getting out of his own. She was able to succeed. She saw money, millions of dollars coming in. She kicked out the husband, a banker. And then, when it was time for Boahene to also let his wife go, problem. His church said no. The Assemblies of God Church, Cedar Mountain Chapel in East Legon, headed and officiated by Reverend Wengham. He said, no, we can't divorce like that in this church. Moreover, you are both members of the church. We saw how you grew together. No. Let's counsel you. That's his wife. They counseled them. Every time he tried to move out, they called them and counseled them and said, no, divorce is not the answer. What is the problem? We can sort it out. Because Boahene felt that he had grown bigger than his wife. His status had gone high. This lady came from a very, very humble background. Her mother was pounding and selling fufu right at Makati Hill. Now he's seeing money. Stealing money, allegedly. This woman is not fit. I need a curvy babe. Hot. who can speak English like Echo, my brother, my sister, he didn't find it easy breaking from his wife because the church refused it. But Rashida did it easily. Quick. Bah! When she realized that Boahene was pussyfooting in leaving his wife, she got family members to try and patch her relationship, and I give her credit for that. To patch the relationship. Talk to my husband. They called the husband to several meetings. But there was one thing the husband always said. I never sacked my wife. She packed her things and left. I don't have a problem with her. If she's returning, if she wants to apologize, let her apologize and come and stay. I don't have a problem. Long story cut short, the marriage never came together again. I could tell you more. There is hope for that marriage. There is hope for that marriage. It's not finished. But that is somebody's private matter. Let me leave it where it is. We are just building the story so you get to appreciate where we are going next. In order to compensate Rashida, Alhaji's wife, a name that was suggested to her by Boahene, because Boahene used to call her husband Alhaji because he was a Muslim. Therefore, find a place and we call it Alhaji's wife. I think it's one of the best names I have seen. When I first heard of Alhaji's wife, I didn't know Rashida owned it. It opened on the 23rd of December, 2 days before Christmas. So strategic. Proper wachi. She herself doesn't sit there. It's her auntie who does it, which is good. Family business. Beautiful. It was growing. Boahene suggested this name. And I cannot even tell you more about issues with Alhaji's wife, the rent and all that. But it's not for today. When you are telling a story, you tell it all. Or you don't start it. That is why we keep bringing you bits and pieces to complete the story. Now watch this. Boahene showered Rashida with money. There's so much evidence to show. We have shown you a number of evidence here. From raw cash carried in Ghana Must Go by drivers of this guy who are now testifying against him, by his own director. My brother, my sister, cash, raw cash, Ghana Must Go, J. He even allegedly bought her house right there at Airport Hills and told owners of the property that he was buying it for his sister. And he spent a lot of time with her and told the wife, probably, that he was on national security duties. Hallelujah. My brother, my sister, now this is what really concerns me and concerns Ghana. In 2024, this guy gave 2 contracts, huge contracts, more than 38 million, less than 2 months apart. And look at it as we compiled. Exclusive expose, Raw and Isaiah Limited, sweep up. The word there is sweep. No S there. Sweep up big money contracts. Sweep up big money contracts. My brother, my sister, in 2024, Raw Limited got a contract that never passed the hands of PPA. No procurement. Single sourced. For Rashida to supply vehicles to National Signals Bureau under Boahene, her boyfriend. Somebody would say, did she supply it? What is the problem? There's a problem. The first problem is this: no procurement process, single sourced. You know what that means? Favoritism. It is bad. It's wrong. Less than 2 months later, after getting the 15,624,255 cents, dollar is cents, right? Over 15 million American dollars. She used another company called Isaiah, and she raked in 23,250,000 American dollars. When you add all up, you would get close to 39 million. And again, we are not talking pekle. We are talking hard cash, Ghana's money. She got 2 more contracts and even more from the NCA and others. I want you to fixate on this. Close to 40. Did she deliver? Today we are answering the question. Dash it away. Now, my brother, my investigations have shown it clearly that some phones, the Gota phones that Rashida supplied, she was supposed to supply 15,000 of the phones, costing so much money. My brother, my sister, and the contract money was how much? Close to 24 million American dollars. NSB, National Signals Bureau, actually received some phones. We don't know how much or how many, and then they gave out to some people. Police people I've spoken to, people who got some of them, told me that they are trash. Some were supplied in Tamale, Rashida'S hometown, broken down. Did these phones come from Rashida? If phones were supposed to really come from the contract, and truly that year, phones, Gota phones came out, we don't know the quantity. As of now, on paper, it could be 15,000 or 150,000 or 200,000 pieces. But was that what was supplied? Was it covered up by Kobna Edu Boahene? And they are all broken down now. I'm going to tell you more. The vehicles that were supposed to be supplied for over 15 million American dollars, did they come? Did they not come? My investigation showed that the National Signals Bureau, as we stand right now, after just 1 year of a contract that was given to Rashida to supply vehicles to the National Signals Bureau to the tune of over 15 million American dollars, they are looking at procuring cars because they have no cars. Only a couple of directors have cars there. The National Signals Bureau, a year after a $15 million contract was given to have cars in, less than a year later, or about a year later, they want new cars. What happened to those cars? They are crying to have cars. Again, they are crying to have Gota phones. What kind of Gota phones were imported? That's if they were imported at all. How many were imported? Why are they all broken down? In fact, my information tells me that they were useless. And we have evidence. Did Edu Boahene cover up on this to enrich his girlfriend and maybe himself? What happened to those vehicles? Can investigators go into that and find out if those vehicles were really procured? And did they arrive? How many arrived? Over 15 million American dollars. Massa, even if the cars cost $1 million each, we should see 15 of those cars at National Signals Bureau. Today, only a couple of directors or so have cars. What happened to those cars Rashida brought in? Did she bring them in? Did she not bring them in? What happened to the contract money? How about the Gota phones? Oh, Jesus. In the coming days, kakra kakra, we will bring you more information. And it's all in the interest of God and country. Finished. I've had a couple of calls from my locality in Tamale, from some good friends who say, oh, you know, we come from the same area. It's difficult for us to rise to the level of other people in Ghana. And when we rise there, I think that we should be patient with each other. And even if we still small, it's okay. Yeah, especially when we come home and develop our place. Oh, bros. If it is wrong for the Ghana man to steal, it should be wrong for the Ashanti man to steal. Or some ethnic groups have a certain preserve for stealing and they can go free. No. If the country must grow, abaya di botechino. Or say di sabanwa eboban. I'm not saying anything out of a bad mind. I heard some other people say, oh, he's jealous of Rashida. They grew up together and she has become so rich and he is still very poor. That is why he's jealous of her. Sir, how about Edu Boahene? How about Wuntumi? I grew up with Wuntumi too. I would have cursed my stars if I had grown up with that idiot. Wuntumi. My God. Why are people so greedy for money? Nobody is bigger than Ghana. On this show, we behave like electricity. Whether you are Ghana or Ashanti, Mapusi or Ewe, tall or short, whether you eat dogs or you eat snakes, when you touch us, you get an electric shock. It's electricity. It's the Blakk pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power.